hello everyone. Welcome to Arturia's Synclavier V. Synclavier? Not quite sure how to pronounce it. Truth be told, this is the second time I've done the start of this video. I recorded it the other day, and I goofed up, and the initial part of the video did not make it. So here's me re-recording that initial part, where I think it's actually called the Synclavier. But for the rest of the video, which I will eventually fade into, it will be the Synclavier. So go easy on me. It's a weird word. But anyways, this is Arturia's, I think their newest VST. It's a hell of a synth. It's a hell of a history this synth has, the Synclavier. It was used in a ton of 80s soundtracks. The little bits that I played you just now, like that right away, should just sound like... not like good 80s movies. It's not like this was groundbreaking soundtracks that soundtrack collectors keep. This was more like, you know, a studio would have a guy in-house that was just like their Synclavier operator, and he would create the patches. And it was mostly just for, like, what do they call them? Underscores. So, you know, a movie like Ernest Goes to Camp even had a lot of Synclavier tones in the background, like... whenever Ernest would go to punch the bully, you know, it'd be like dum, dum. And or like, you know, straight to VHS style, like fighting movies and stuff. Lots of Synclavier. And so I'm kind of shocked actually at how good this emulation is, because Arturia has been in the game for a long time, and this V series they have here, that's pretty new. I think I randomly saw that they were having a sale, and I'd already bought all of their series like 2 years ago, so it was still their, like, they've been in it for long enough where they created a bunch of emulations for, you know, classic synths like the Yamaha CS80 and, like the Jupiter 8 and Roland stuff. So they've been in the game for a long time, but so long that some of their early synths are super dated, like for a VST. So, you know, I keep my eye on Arturia because I like, there's always potential. Like, even the name alone, it reminds me of Beyond the Black Rainbow, Arborea or whatever. It's just like, it's a good name for like a synth company. But, so I always keep my eye out because I really liked their GUIs for what they were before. So I bought all their stuff and I used all their stuff, but there was always just something a little missing, especially when stuff like Diva was out there, which is just a beast, super thick sounding. So when I saw that Arturia was making a Synclavier emulation, I was like, yeah, good luck. Good luck you guys are going to make that. But, you know, I think they have probably created the best emulation I've ever heard for an actual synth that I've never owned. I don't own any synth. So, you know, if I'm like, oh, this Yamaha CS80 synth doesn't sound super accurate, like, I don't know. But the thing about the Synclavier is whenever those tones happen in a movie... hear that trail? Ooh, it's so grimy. You hear those in movies and they sound exactly like what I'm playing right now. Exactly. That's borderline shocking that, you know, I was messing around with this. This is like the third time I've opened up this VST. I was messing around with it from the first time I opened it and managed to create like a sound like this from scratch right away, like immediately. So I knew there was something special about this VST, and so I wanted to do a preset video for everyone out there, because I think it's still kind of new, and you might not know what the Synclavier is, and you know, as usual, if you're just looking at a GUI, it never really tells you what exactly is going on. I had to read the PDF, actually, believe it or not, to see exactly what the heck's going on, and see the intelligent changes that they made. So, as is key for the Noodling Around series, I'm going to explain to you in my own words what the heck this thing is, because I don't want to break down a history for you, because I don't know the history. I'm even too young to know the history. This is such an old synth. I think it predates the 80s. It's one of the first available FM synths, and so I would love to break down to you right now what FM is, but hopefully you guys know enough that you know what an operator is in FM. It works exactly like FM radio. It's the exact same idea. You have what's called a carrier and a modulator, and those are relative terms. So a carrier is usually just a volume. So it's kind of, you can picture it like the volume of your sound. And so it starts as a sine wave, and it's a sine wave of a certain frequency, and what you do is you modulate it by another operator. So they're both called operators, but one that modulates the other. So the modulating one is called the modulator, and the one that it modulates is called the carrier. And then you can stack another one after that, and then that one would be called the carrier, and then there's two modulators going into it, and blah, 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 blah. It goes on and on. And sometimes you can send them back into each other. Like the Yamaha DX7 is a good example of that. But the Yamaha DX7 had 6 operators per sound, whereas the Synclavier has only 2. And if you've ever messed around with some FM sounds, this is really what 2-op FM sounds usually sound like, even on the DX7. They're usually a little grimy because you want to push them a bit to get any sound out of it, because one sine wave modulating another sine wave can only really make so much stuff happen. So usually it's really good for bass lines and stuff like that. But what I think this synth is a bunch of 2-op things that may or may not feed into each other. I don't know. I haven't gone that far. So you've got what they call them partials here, which is slightly confusing because in FM terminology, a partial also refers to any harmonic in a sound that is not a harmonic, so of a number of the fundamental frequency. But forget that stuff. You'd have to read some PDFs to know anything about that. So in this, they call them partials, so I'll live with that. Partial is basically, they're kind of like little patches. Like this one, I think, is just one sound. So this whole sound is this partial, but you could add to it more partials, and you can add to them up to 12 partials? That's more than the original had. I can't remember how much the original had, but they also let you determine what you want your carrier and modulator to look like in terms of like the waveform. So right here, what we're actually dealing with is, I believe, harmonics, and they're showing you like the harmonics of a sound down here, and a harmonic is like a whole number, anything in between a whole number. For an overtone. Man, I'm getting into like goofy stuff. You shouldn't have to know this stuff, but essentially, look what I do here. I add harmonics, and it creates like a weird alternate sound, and that would create weird alternate sounds in my patch. So let's actually go to this one instead, because they've already created sort of a using every harmonic here from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, and I just know from practice that kind of creates a sine wave sound, or sorry, a sawtooth wave sound. So even though it doesn't look especially saw here, like it's got a little curves, that's essentially what you're hearing is kind of a sawtooth sound. But what if we add another time slice here? They call them time slice. And we mangle this up a bit. Like let's say it switches to more of a square wave sound. And square waves are usually every even harmonic, I can't remember. Roughly something like this. So let me show you what's going on here, actually. Your sound will basically move from sounding like the first time slice, which is set up like this, to the second time slice. And I remember there used to be a line that showed how it was going along, but it's not here right now. I don't know if that's an update or if I fiddled with something, but... So listen to it now as it goes from one time slice here, which sounds like a sine wave, or sorry, sawtooth wave, to something that's more of a square wave, which is kind of square. I mean, square, roughly square. Sounds square. Doesn't have to look exactly square, but anyway. Oh, there we go. And then let's just round this off with like something idiotic. And so after that, it morphs to this third one, which is all goofiness that I have not planned at all. So can you hear the potential already for like FM drones to a level that no other VST that I've used will allow? So on top of that, you've also got envelopes that you can create for your amplitude, so your carrier, and then your modulator, which for all intents and purposes, if you know anything about FM stuff, this is basically the envelope for your feedback sound. So feedback in FM terms is basically like the gritty FM sound. Like feedback, you know, if you really ride the feedback knob in any FM patch, it's just going to get nutty sounding to a point where it just turns into pure noise. So you always want to find the balance. So this is the envelope for your balance. of that weird noise. So what if I add it, just go in a bit? So the attack is in a bit for the weird FM noise. So it starts normal, then gets a little FM-y. Let's see if we can hear that. Okay, so this one follows your actual key press envelope. So let's shorten that. Yes, sir. Oh, we are cooking with fire now. So this is just me editing a quick patch here. You know what I'm gonna do? No, I think I get into that. See, it's weird that I start the video with this because I know more about the patch now, or the VST now, than I did when I finished the video. But now I'm gonna basically cut to myself just going through a bunch of presets, and I don't know as much as I know now, so bear with me. It's essentially just me rolling through presets and rambling about maybe the same stuff I talked about here, but at least I started this one with sounds. The other one took a while to get into sounds. So now, without further ado, here's some gosh darn presets. Let me know if you like the sounds you hear, and I guess let Arturia know if you like the sounds you hear too. And look forward to some more vids. I might do more on this very VST because it's a lovely VST, lovely creation. But some of the other Arturia VSTs too, I might have to start doing some vids for those because they updated them all, including. Sorry, one thing I forgot to mention here: they updated the patch bay now, so it's so much easier to navigate because you can sort between like the types, and all of them seem to have pretty helpful comments and stuff. Well, some of them do, such as there were some Tron ones that were actually super cool and had super cool comments on them that helped you know what they were based on, what they were inspired by, and how to use them with the mod wheel and the velocity and all that stuff. Because there's a full featured. Let's see if I can find it. No, I went back. There's a lot of stuff here. In fact, in this video, I don't even talk about how to change your partials and stuff, but you can copy and paste each partial. So with this sound here, I could copy and paste it to all of these different things and then go into the screen mode and just give them different envelopes and blah, 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 and then they would all sort of be in here on different things. But I don't do that here. I don't know if we even need to do that, but they've got a mod matrix so you can select 2 extra ones here and add aftertouch or add whatever nuttiness you want. What did I like? I liked adding velocity, and then down here you change what it is to the FM amount. So this is basically the feedback amount. So you can change it so the harder you hit it, the more feedback goes through this 2-op sound, which is kind of what you would want. So then for every partial you can change it. And then also key dynamics, I believe they let you select like portions of your keyboard you want each sound to reside on, which is kind of cool. You can make like a bitey bass and then copy and paste the partial and then make it less bitey as it goes. But you'd kind of need to fiddle with it a bit. But other than that, I'm over time here. So let's get to some presets. Enjoy. Okay, these are a little too wacky for my taste. So let's get to some more plucks and plings, because those are the ones that I can actually play. This one's called the Clockwork Bass. I don't remember the soundtrack for A Clockwork Orange, but I'm guessing that it had some Synclavier on it. With a little Wendy Carlos. Let's get a little, you see that on the cam? No. Well, I got a little sustain pedal down there. I think that might sound good. Oh, no. Has built-in envelope. So forget it. A Clockwork Gong. Love it. Wendy Carlos did the soundtrack for Tron. So now imagine this. A little Tron sounding, right? Very cool, very usable. A Clockwork Red. Wait, I wanted to see what that said. Sometimes there's some helpful little notes in here. Upward sweeping heavy modulation sound effect inspired by Wendy Carlos Clockwork Orange soundtrack. try that on a lower note. I wonder if each time it goes up, if that's a new partial. Anyways, I'm not getting to like good sounds here. Okay. Almost a little Blade Runner-y. Let's see if I can play that theme. That's a patch I would use. Abbey Road Brass. Actually, I want to see if they say anything. Dedicated to Maxwell's Seaver Hammer. I don't know what that is. That's kind of a cool comment though, because now I want to see what it is. So I got some SFX in here. If you make a melody here. In these headphones, it sounds like there's someone chewing in the background. Additive hit. Wonder what they mean by additive here. See how many things they're using here. Just one. Huh. That's kind of cool. If you want a sound effect to not follow pitch, you can just turn it off there. I haven't actually messed with that before. Oh, of course they have FX built in as well. So what do they got there? They got your... Man alive, that is tiny. Flanger, phaser, chorus, delay, reverb, dub, delay. And I'm not a big fan of like effects that are built in. Let's hear with that off. I actually kind of like that better. What else we got here? Sorry, this is getting a little long in the tooth. Whatever. You know what you signed up for. You want to hear some presets. I wish I could know. You can see all these right here. I guess you can't because my big old mug is in the way. So I want to show you. Let's just look at the... Nope, that doesn't work that way. All right, what if I do it like this? Can you see them now? All right, well, you can see more of them now. Better yet, why don't I just say, hey, Goober, get your face off the screen. No. Didn't work. Wait. Let's try now. Okay, cool. All right, let's look at some of these presets. So you can get an idea of like what they have here. Trying to do my duty here as a preset video guy. Ooh, they actually have some Tron ones? Okay, I'm gonna have to go check those out. Man, a lot of presets here. And I mean, if you like the way the Synclavier sounds, a lot of these are gonna be up your gosh darn alley. And I love that they actually put some descriptions next to them that say what they were based on. Like here, metallic, digital, orchestral stab. Interesting evolving timbre. And you can see how human they are. They've misspelled. Just like you and I, as you hold down the keys. Hey everyone, welcome back. ain't done with these Tron patches. Let's see if we can actually use this the way it was meant to be used. Cool. Tron Bass. She used the DK synergy system, which share a lot in common with the Synclavier. Interesting to know. She was not using the Synclavier, but she was using a different synth, the DK synergy, which I think UVI has a emulation of that, but it's all samples. But wait, what does it say? Respond to velocity, mod wheel slows, FM attack. See, I'm a big fan of VSTs that let you play them, you know, like, a lot of my songs that I do, I don't enter the notes from, like, the MIDI, or the key editor. I like, play it first, and then go in and edit it. I'm not sure if other people are like that, but I find that, it gives you a good humanistic sound if you play it a bit first, because you get a little bit of that performance. And so patches like this let you really sort of improve your performance. Like if I want to... or if I want to be like... like, you know, all in one patch, I can get like a... Not that I can do it. I'm not really that proficient. I love that they added some aftertouch. It seems like they... What did they add there? What's under aftertouch? Aftertouch is affecting... What is that? Ah, okay, so the mod matrix looks like this. Vibrato depth. Well, it seems like it's adding like a chorus, though. Yeah. Liking it. Hope you guys are still entertained by this, because I'm still going. By the way, if you're a keyboard player, or if you're not a keyboard player, rather, I don't know what chords I'm hitting right here. I don't know if it's obvious. It maybe is obvious and I am unaware, but I'm just hitting random things. Usually I'm hitting a fifth over here, which is usually like 5 notes apart, or 5 notes on a scale apart, or whatever, you know, a fifth. You know what a fifth is, like a power chord. So you hit a fifth over here and then just hit anything over here. So you have to know what notes are in the scale. So in my case, I like using F sharp, the key of F sharp, because it's all the black keys, and then plus the 2 white keys that append the F sharp, G sharp, A sharp. So the scale just looks like... So when you're not looking at your keyboard, it's hard to tell on white keys what key you're on, but it's kind of easy to tell if you're on a black key because it's up. So if you hit just a random key or a random chord like that, you can tell, like, what do I want to change on that? Do I want it to go up a bit? So you just move one finger up. It sometimes gets hard if you want to move 2, though. So that's all I'm doing, is just noodling around. Legitimately noodling. No idea what I'm doing. So okay, I get the idea. Tron presets, having a good time. Enjoying the Tron presets. What else do we got here? Let's just start going at random. Ooh, inspired by Wendy Carlos yet again. Oh wait, no, I'm looking at... What am I looking at here? Is this... No, okay. It's not showing me Wendy Carlos. You have to select it from here, I guess, to get your little description. Little phase canceling in that one. I'm not sure I'm super on board with that. Layered big funky synth sound. Works as a bass as much as a lead. Oh yeah? Well, let's put you to the test. Has some lead qualities to it. I like that though. You can get down with that. Alright, melody keys. Bright keys with a soft pad. I just picture like Mel Gibson or Eddie Murphy or something coming out of their California apartment, sunset. This one sounds like it could be good. Slow attack pad with the vibrato on a bright sounding layer to bring a focus of melody. As usual with these patches, I like to hit a low note just to see how it sounds. Little cat. I wonder if that click is meant to be in there. Sometimes with these patches, they're meant to evolve, but I'm playing them like a lead because that's just how I go. Like these. Get a little, Danny Elfman. Danny Elfman from... Why do I forget the name of the band that he was in? Oingo Boingo. Or you get a little... You can also get a little Wings of Anamize there. Yeah, I like that. In fact, I want to... Maybe I should... What do we got here? I want types. I want percussive. I like using the mod wheel on instruments that could not possibly have a mod wheel. That sounds like an 80s movie. In the background, you have to picture like Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez like doing something, you know, silly. Dark tubes. Mod wheel, controlled, release. Even this sounds like an 80s movie to me. This is like a cheesy movie where a robot's like chasing after the good guy or something. Dream chimes. Mod wheel in all caps. Slow vibrato. Okay. A little ambient, a little dissonant, but I'm sure you could come up with something. Always got to have your electro zap. Man, there is a lot here. Well, I still got batteries. I'm still recording, so let's go. Let's keep it going. Let's change the key. I've been playing in that key for a little too long. Let's go to a little C major. I keep hearing 80s movies when I'm playing this stuff, and I ain't hating it. Wait, alright, well, let's do this first. Sneaking around, getting into all kind of shenanigans. Severe clavier. This sounds like Mortal Kombat. This patch is all over the place. I don't know what they want. What do you want from me? I think maybe... So here's something I didn't explain yet. Which each of these 2-op partials, you can sort of select a range on the keyboard that it handles. Yeah. So like I only want this partial to be at a certain point. But I don't really know how I would use that yet. That's basically making a super complex patch where the bottom is super bitey and the top is airy or something. So I like keys, so I'm gonna do some keys. Because keys are real easy to play. For me. And then here's a little trick. C, the key of C major, all white keys, so it's easy to, you can't get a wrong note as long as you're hitting white keys. But if you're playing in the key of C major and you hit one black key, now all of a sudden your brain starts hearing other weird stuff. So keep playing white keys, and you hear this note, and it makes me want to think. Now all of a sudden I'm in another key. So sometimes that happens. I just mentioning that, just shooting the breeze to all the people out there. More layered with similar to So I don't know if they have it going on here, but I bet they do. Let's go to screen, let's go to FX. Chorus, yeah. That's actually not a very heavy effect. So I want to... one of the things that you totally want to do with FM sounds, like the more digital they sound... Wait, do I want that? No, I want micro shift. The more digital an FM patch sounds, Usually, like, the better it will sound if you add some chorus to it. There we go. Get a little sustain pedal here. Let's get the reason why you're here back up on the screen. And whoops. That was the micro shift, by the way. I had it off on my other monitor, showing you what I was doing. This is cool, VST II, because it lets you change the focus of the effect, so you can kind of fine tune it. Anyways, yeah. Let's see what the heck's going on here. I suppose I should show you guys this stuff now. Let me just enjoy this for a second. Just a little aimless noodling there. Never hurt anybody. Okay. I think I'm ready. I'm ready to try a patch from scratch. Let's banks? Yeah. Templates. Simple sign. I could even just noodle around with a sine wave. But we're not going to do that. So your FM amount. I mean, I didn't even go over any of this stuff yet. Those are all just presets. So, I mean, maybe this is a good place to stop. Maybe for another video, I'll show you like what the heck's going on here. You know how I said they were all 2-op sounds? So each one of these partials is basically a separate 2-op patch that I think feeds into each other from top to bottom. I'm not sure. They might be parallel. Maybe. Not sure. I'm sure I could figure that out by testing right now, but it wouldn't make for good entertainment. So in any 2-op patch on a DX, the feedback amount would be on the modulating operator. And so that's basically what we have here. Yeah. So that's a little too bitey right now, right? We don't need that much bite. So what we can do is say, "Hey, buddy." No need to be so bitey. No need to bite. What if we want just a little bite? What if? So let's add a second one here. So you can see whenever I select one over here, it's the same as selecting a different partial over there. But by default, all the other partials in this initial preset are turned down. So we gotta turn this one up if we want to hear it. But it doesn't have any bite yet, so it doesn't really do anything. Won't really hear it. So I guess they might not be in parallel then. But anyways, you can slot them, or parallel. No, they are in parallel. They're not in sequence. But... or maybe they are. Guys and ladies, I'm very confused. This is a very complicated VST. So I want this one to have a little, bite to it. It's got a little attack, I guess. I don't really know what I'm doing here. Oh, actually, yeah. I need to get a little zoomed in so I can get even bitier. Now what I want is for that sound to, on partial 2, I would like my velocity to change... What do I want it to change? I think I have to go custom here. I want my velocity to change the FM amount, so it'll get a little more raspy the harder I hit. Not raspy enough. Not Rasputin enough. Alright, I think what I need to do is... yeah, turn the FM amount down a bit, because right now I have velocity affecting my FM amount, so if I turn it all the way down, then it has more to go the harder I hit. That's kind of like what I was saying. I like being able to play a patch so that it sounds a little more human. But also, let's get a little fine chorus going in here over the whole patch. Now I want another partial here that I guess sorry. Makes for great videos to watch me fiddle back and forth. Let's just load up another one here. So we're on partial 3 here. I want this one to kind of, if I hold a note down, I want this one to okay. And what I want to do, go back to the first partial, which was just a basic sound. Actually, you know what? There's my first go at a sound. But I want to actually start over to just show you one thing. And this is how we'll end it, I guess, because this is getting too long. And I don't know if it's been helpful. You've seen some presets, I guess. I'm showing you the worst possible breakdown of how you would make sounds, but... Wait, what did I do here? Do I want to... No. Let's go to a random patch and then come back. This one a good one? Yeah, pretty straightforward. Alright, so we're back to that original patch. So we have our carrier and our modulator. So finally they're using terms that I know and recognize. So the modulator is the carrier, or the carrier is the, I guess the volume. So I don't necessarily want to change that one, or do I? So you can see when you start adding, from the overtones, if you start adding harmonics to it, you can start building a bit of a sound here. So if I start adding some of my modulation back in with that weird sound, it's not... Okay, well, a better example would be if I... Let's go back to our time slices. Some nuke all of those. So that's kind of what that one sounds like. What if we change the carrier? Interesting. So here's where this gets nutty, everyone. So you can clearly see that you can mangle these sounds into weird things. But to what end? So what if we start adding some of these little dots in here? Every one of these dots is going to be a new frame. that you can mangle. And so say I want it to get silly and then go back to normal. So it doesn't really show you an animation here. It did at some point. I don't know if I turned it off or something. But basically when you hit a note, it travels from here to here to here to here, and you can see how each one of these is weird. So it starts from a weird one, or normal, then goes to weird, then normal again. Right, so you can start getting kind of cool with that. If you like make that longer, then you get all that weird stuff in the middle. Let's hear low. What I want to do is add a little more of this. Alright, well, you know, it's a pretty in-depth VST. It's something that, this is my final wrap-up, by the way. It's something new. For a VST, for Arturia especially, I mean, this is a huge step up for them. This is a huge step up for just emulations in general, because it's just, it does what you want it to do. I don't know how else to explain it. There's a lot of times I'll buy a VST and then immediately have buyer's remorse because like it doesn't do what I want it to do. There's a lot of VSTs where it's like, yeah, it's this vintage synth, but like all the presets are designed to make dubstep or EDM or something. They're not designed to make like the sounds that the synth was originally famous for. And like I get it, not everyone wants to make the soundtrack for Ernest Goes to Camp. I might be a minority in that case, but it should still have the essence of that original sound. Like you know, a lot of VSTs now let you add as many voices as you want and detune them all, the biggest super saw ever. But like that couldn't exist back in the day, and so to achieve that, you had to do. What are you munching over there? You had to do certain things, and it kind of gets away from the character of the sound. And this VST, I feel like they struck a really good balance where it's like it's got the character of the original, it's got that Ernest Goes to Camp quality so well, but it also, like, a lot of those presets I think were like really intelligently designed. And that's crazy for me to say that coming from Arturia, because the old VSTs that they had, some of those presets were just a gong show. I had no idea what they were going for, and they were not very musical. So this one, by example, or by comparison, fabulous. It's fabulous, everyone. So yeah, I don't know if that sale is still going on, but if it is, I'd check it out just for this VST alone. But the rest of them, I mean, I could probably do a whole series on each of the rest of them, but what can you do? We're getting too long here. I don't know what else to say. If you guys have suggestions or if you have questions, put them in the comments or whatever, and I'll get to it. And that's about all I have to say. Okay. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. We'll see you guys next time. Feel free to subscribe to this channel.